Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and what we're going to go through today will truly create a transformation and carry you through all this stuff that's going on in the world today. Now, what is it? Hey, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. So, what's that mean? We can take the most seemingly powerful limiting belief and emotion and turn that into great power to create a new life in a new world. So let's look at this. First of all, fear is an essential part of our life. Why? Of our human life, that is, because it keeps us alive. I remember as a kid, man, there were certain things I didn't do because I feared my dad, because I knew he would beat my ass, man, if I ever got busted for that. Now, I did a lot of things. I got away with a lot of things, but I feared my dad more than I feared God. So, fear is a good thing. Yet it can be the most limiting, powerful, and limiting belief and emotion that keeps us stuck where we're at and can actually lead us into decline, depression, and wherever that goes, right? So how do we turn something so powerful into our most powerful emotion and powerful life? Well, that comes through understanding. So where does fear come from? Fear comes from not knowing. When you don't know what's going to happen next. So pay attention to what I'm going to say right here because this is really powerful. Fear is a projection of uncertainty of a possible future event that will cause you emotional pain that you want to avoid. Did you check that out? Fear is a projection of an uncertain possible future event that will cause you emotional pain that you want to avoid. Well, let's use an example. When you watch a horror movie, there's the girl in the shower and she's all innocent and nice, right? And the villain is in the house and you can see through the shower curtain a shadow of a big man coming at you, and the anticipation and the music, and then the shower curtain rips open, you fly out of your shoes, and that's what it is. Why is there all that anticipation and all that triggering? Because what it's triggering is our basic, most foundational instinct, and that is our survival instinct. That's why it's so powerful, right? Because fear of uncertainty triggers our survival instinct. And so when we're not certain, fear is always something that's unknown. We've heard the phrase, it's fear of the unknown. Why? Because our brain does not like uncertainty. Our brain loves to know and loves to know what to expect. So our brain loves certainty. When your brain doesn't know what's going to happen, then it wants to solve a problem. Your brain is a strategic tool. It doesn't like uncertainty. It triggers survival instinct. So what your brain is going to do, it's going to reference what it already knows, which is a past experience, and it's going to bring the past into your present and project that into your future because your brain loves certainty. That's what it is. And that's the human part of our brain. So now your brain thinks it's doing a great job while your mind, because there's a difference, your mind is going crazy, your body's totally stressed out, but your brain is actually happy because it's solving the problem. It brought something it didn't know from your past and projecting it into the future, and now you're completely stressed out and everything's a train wreck. Does that sound familiar? Now, some people may say, well, I'm in a challenging situation right now, and this is different. I get it. And that's what the whole world is going through. And what happens is your brain wants to solve a problem. So have you ever noticed when life is going really great, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, things are great. Something is bound to happen. Something is bound to happen. Have you ever said that? I've said that before. Why? Because your brain loves problems. So when everything is great, then your brain, what's it want to do? It wants to create a problem because it's a strategic tool. Now, my last relationship, man, things would be going great. And then all of a sudden she would start picking and criticizing on small things. And I would tell her, we don't have a problem. Like what you're picking on is a 3-second conversation. If you want something, just tell me. I'll give you the whole world. And so finally, started creating bigger and bigger problems. And then I had to get out of the relationship. So why do I refer to your brain? Why do I keep, hey, Bobby Joe, why do I keep calling it your brain? because you are not your brain. You have a brain, but that's not who you are. The brain is a strategic tool that solves problems, right? So who are you? You're a spiritual being living a human experience, and your brain has survival instincts so your human body can survive. But it's not who you are. That's an instinct to keep this body alive, so our spirit that's inhabiting that body has this physical vehicle that we can create a purpose, fulfill our soul purpose on this physical plane. Now here's 2 Timothy 1:7. God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Notice what God says in the word, a sound mind. He doesn't say a sound brain. He doesn't say you have a sound brain. He says you have a sound mind. There is a difference, because we're supposed to have a mind that has the thoughts of God. So now, what are we learning? Fear is learned. Fear is learned by what you believe your experiences are, the meaning of your experience, and what other people told you. So what's happening in the world today? And why is this pertinent today? Because we are in a world of confusion and deception and contradiction that we have, and we're going through things today where we have no past experience. The things we're going on today have never happened before. We've never had a past experience. Our brain doesn't know what to do, so what do? What do we do? Well, we slap on a mask in fear, in spite of the fact there's no science that supports it. We do all these things. We're creating separation, and what happens? So what do people do? Now, your brain, in an uncertain situation, wants to go back to what you know. So what do you know? Hey, if you drank alcohol when you're under stress, now you don't have a strategy, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to alcohol. You're going to start drinking more. You're going to take drugs. You're going to, and now domestic violence, not that may be familiar, but you have all this stress and energy's got to come out, and now you're irritable, and now maybe you're aggressive. Domestic violence is through the roof. Suicide is through the roof, because we've been at this a year, and when your brain doesn't have a solution and you're getting isolation, what do you want to do? You say, I just want to stop the pain. That's all you know. Your humanity says, I can't control this. I want to stop the pain. And now suicide is through the roof. Well, that is an outside-in solution, because we think we are our brain, but we're not tapping into our heart and our mind of God. So the biggest cause of fear today is not what's outside you. It's the fact that you're trusting your own strength by yourself. You feel alone, that if I'm going to make it through this, I have to trust on my own strength. So what's that mean? That you believe that you have to have all the solutions. You believe that only you can change it. You believe that you have to control all these things in life and all these conditions. You believe that if you can't control them, then your stress levels go up. They go through the roof. You're stressed out of your mind. And now you go back to your past and your habits that become self-destructive. When in reality, what are you really doing? You're killing yourself and you're killing everyone around you. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have to take action. So James 2:17, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. We need to take action. There's no question. Now, let me tell you a story, and this is out of the Old Testament, but this is a very powerful story. So hang on to the rest of what I'm going to say for the rest of this, because this will change your life. Joshua is leading the Israelites, and they have to cross the Jordan. So this is in Joshua 3:8. The Israelites have to cross the Jordan. They have the Ark of the Covenant, but the Jordan is like a raging river. It says it is overwhelming the land, which means it's probably in the spring, because if you go whitewater rafting, right, snow melts. Hey, the rivers are raging in the spring. So here's the Jordan. They're looking at the Jordan, go, we got to carry this. We got to walk across there. No way. I'm not doing it, right? So Joshua gets a word from God and then tells the Israelites, when you come to the edge of the Jordan, you shall stand in the Jordan. So what's he saying? What's God telling? Joshua, make these people put their feet at the edge of the Jordan. So Joshua 3:13, and it shall come to pass, as soon as the soles of the feet of the priests who bear the ark of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest the waters, he'll stop the Jordan, rest the waters of the Jordan. The waters of the Jordan shall be cut off, and the waters that come down from upstream, they shall stand as a heap. What's that mean? You got to put your feet in the water and let God stop that. Now, once God stopped the Jordan, the Israelites crossed the Jordan to the other side on dry ground. And that's what it says, on dry ground. We see what we want to create on the other side, but man, we got a raging river in front of us. So what's the difference? The difference is everybody's going to feel fear. But stepping into the water, taking the first step, takes courage. Courage is something you decide. Faith is dead without works. Faith is dead without courage. We have to take the step of faith that we are called to do so he can clear the path ahead of us, no matter what it looks like now. The metaphorical river will part when you're willing to set your fear down and have courage. So Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. What's that mean? That means, where's our rod and our staff? That means we can be set. We can walk through the valley. Isn't that what the world feels like? We're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but our rod and our staff. Now, Moses had a rod, right? He had the Egyptians back, the Red Sea at the front, raises the rod, splits the Red Sea. You're like, well, I don't have a rod. Yeah, you do. Your rod is your heart. Your rod is your heart. It's your spirit. It's your heart that sends thoughts to your mind, not your brain. That you have the mind of God because you have a heart of God because you are divine first. 23:5-6. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Doesn't matter who you think is out to get you. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. See, we're in abundance. Surely goodness and mercy. Psalm 91:7-8. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. What's that mean? Okay, that means, look, we're looking around the world. We see people dying of vaccination. VAERS that documents adverse reactions from the vaccination. Only 1% are reported, and there are well over 1,100 deaths. Okay, so what's that mean? Thousands. We're going to be watching thousands and thousands of people passing away. We're going to be watching suicide rates, domestic violence, and crime. Crime is going up ridiculously recently with all these executive orders. So, and that's another whole issue. I'm not going to even get into that. But the bottom line is, do you have faith? You will watch thousands fall at your side, but you walk through the valley because you have a rod. It's your heart and it's your mind with the thoughts of God, and it's having faith that has courage that you step into the water and let God, who's ahead of you, open and stop the Jordan, part the Red Sea, so you walk on dry ground through this world today. Man, how about that? Well, now you're like, okay, how do I do that? Well, there's two sources. One is go to IAUSM.com, the International Academy and University of Self-Mastery, that has tons of people that are offering vehicles for self-mastery. The next one is, let's look at You're More Powerful, and let's look at Heal, the 6-step system to a higher consciousness made easy. And this comes from the book, You're More Powerful Than You Think. And it's all spiritual principles. This is not religion. So let's look at H, honor God within yourself. Hey, you're a spirit. You're a child of God. You are not your brain. You are not your fear. That you can have the mind of God when you understand that you are divine first. Then E, the first E, exercise loving yourself and others. That you are made in love. When you love yourself more, right? When you love yourself like God loves you, then you realize I am made of love and peace and of a sound mind. Then you go to A, accept forgiveness for yourself and others. Then I can release the pain of my past because you know your brain is going to refer to your past, bring it into your present, cause worry and stress, project it in the future. But when I can change the meaning of my past, I can be grateful because of all those painful experiences. I can heal the pain so I don't project it in the future, and that's in A. Then L, living in now, so I can have present time consciousness. I'm not bringing my past. I'm not projecting the future. I have inner peace, so I can find the whispers. I can hear the whispers of divinity, of God and myself together as partners to give me my direction. Then E, the second E, establish a purpose and mission. This is what Joshua got. Because Joshua was present, he was leading the Israelites. He got a word from God. Step into, put the soles of the feet into the Jordan, right? So you're going to get your message of what you're going to do. Then you're going to have the courage. You're not bringing your past in. And D, we deliver it to the world. We take the first step and we let God create the miracles in front of us. So, hey, you can get the book, You're More Powerful Than Think. You can go to You're More Powerful. You can go to iAwesome. Because when we realize we are not our brain, we are our heart and our mind, we are divine first, that, man, we can have courage, and courage builds faith. And with that faith, that we can know that God's in front of us, that we're partners, that we can part the Red Sea, we can part the things that are going on in the world, and we can walk on dry ground. And then we can be like Joshua. We can take all these people with us. How cool is that? All right. Love you guys. Thank you. Please share this. Please comment and subscribe also. And love you guys. And we'll see you next week. Take care.